summit has set tone for the other support groups to emulate, as 2019 is not about Mr. President. It's about our future, the future of our children and our grandchildren. I call on you, therefore, to propagate our party manifesto, which promises to change the lives of Nigerians and what has achieved so far. We must speak on what is on the table if re-elected in 2019. It is my hope that this awareness will lead to another win for the party. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
I must say that I was really disappointed with my own party, APC, the way and manner they did not support women. Women were not supported at all in any form. A lot of our women were just abandoned and they were running helter-skelter. I think we paid lip service to the inclusion of women.
I think the political parties should start from their manifestos to begin to include women and women into their manifestos. From there, gradually, the political parties should earmark certain positions that are strictly meant for women. We don't need free forms. We don't need any sympathy. They should earmark positions that are ours. No man should contest for it. I think if we start that way, gradually the men will get to assimilate us into the system.
It's only the national woman leader. She has cried and cried. It falls on deaf ears. The wife of the president has cried and cried. It falls on deaf ears. But I believe Her Excellency's cry will not continue to fall on deaf ears.
If you look at it, the major political parties, or all the political parties, didn't do anything special in 2019 to encourage women. Majority of the parties, just the usual game of giving free tickets to women, which goes to no issue. Then the ruling party did a 50-50 for women and persons living with disability, and that again threatens democracy seriously, threatens by women position. It helps to decline, to dwindling the women, position in political participation, because most times we are financially handicapped and there was no protection anywhere, either by the law or by any policy, by any party.
We are more determined and more industrious, in fact, than the men. If we come out together as women with one voice, we'll be able to kick the men out. So we need to come together. We need to sanitize our women folks. We need to enlighten them. There's a lot of campaign to be done to the women folks to see reason why they should go with a woman candidate if she comes out to contest for any position.
If Nigerian women goes for international conference, we stand out. Anywhere in the world, Nigerian women can compete with any class of women in the world. Unfortunately, back home, our men refuse to encourage and support us, give us the rightful place, to play the role that we should to support them in governance.
Like if you take, for example, the Southwest, where usually we have the zebra approach, this twinning approach, where usually we have the governors as governorship candidates, as male, then deputy governor as female. It's not like that. So we are left with just Ogun, who succeeded in maintaining that. So apparently, as it is, what we have now is just the Ogun in the West, as against the usual practice where majority of the state in Ogun has the women at least as deputy governorship candidate, which usually is a platform for them to excel from there.
The situation this last election is the worst in the history of Nigeria, and it's heartbroken. And because of that, I believe and I strongly pray that Mr. President will find a way to compensate women more. as far as elective positions are concerned, because the number is just a big shame on a big, powerful African country like Nigeria.
We have never had the number of women we had, running for elective posts than we had in this last election cycles. But the sad thing was how I watched them from time to time on telly, and they recount how they were bullied out.
The party politics, I will always emphasize on issue of party politics. In the next 2 years, we are going to face elections on party, management. I think we should start preparation from now on to ensure that in all the various political parties, we should be able to have women to hold position that will give them an advantage over the men. For instance, we do not want, like what we have now in all the political parties, is women leader. A woman leader, she's just on her own, she cannot contribute much. But if for instance, we have the national chairman as a woman, or the secretary, at least we have like 5, 6 members out of 15, or even 7, or 8 in the working committee. It's going to help to lay a base, a foundation for Nigerian women to excel.
It's unfortunate. We still have not got it right, because as far as women representation is concerned, Nigeria is a disabled country, because it is a country that is working, it's like a man walking on one leg. If a man walks on one leg, he's disabled. And we have all that it takes.
If the presidency again steps further from what he has done in this 2019, then we are sure of having more women in 2023.
As far as we are mothers of the nation, the womb that holds the child for 9 months and brings forth the child, the breast that the child sucks, that gives life to the child, cannot cry to God and it goes in vain. I believe that the cries of women will definitely reach the heavens, and Mr. President will have a second thought.
Even the woman leader has to go to the men to get to ask for permission to do some certain things. She is not given a free hand to do what she's supposed to do to the women. So it still boils down to the system. If we are able to talk to the men to make a law that will encourage women, women's voice will be heard, women's decisions will be taken seriously, I think we'll move forward.
There's nothing that will pass through the legislature as long as we don't have a good representation of women there. The men there will continue to fight against any policy that is in the interest of women, because they don't believe in it. It is sad that even in our red chambers, we had senators that married 13-year-olds. It's most unfortunate. That is child abuse. So these are things that if more women are there, better policies that will help the child will pass through. And the woman is not just there for herself. The woman represents the family. Wherever a woman is, she fights for the children. So the woman and the children, they walk hand in hand.
The problem we have with the National Assembly is that, again, it's mostly occupied by male. They are mostly men. When you speak to them one by one, only a few of them will tell you that they are not in support of women participation. Only just a handful. The rest will tell you how they desire women to participate. Oh, we are pro-women, I'm a she-male, and all those kind of terms. But in reality, a bill has been lying in the National Assembly. Somebody sponsored that bill, and it's still lying down there. But what have the women themselves done? What have pro-women groups, the National Council for Women's Societies, and all the other women groups, what have they done? How have they mobilized Nigerian women and Nigerian men too who are pro, our cause.
There is need for even laws to be enacted, even be it in the National Assembly, to protect women. It goes a long way. For instance, if you go to the parliament now, you see how the numbers have dwindled. 6 in the Senate, 11 in the House of Reps. It's not encouraging, which means that the implication is that you have men taking decision for women without women input. It goes a long way to show how women are not treated fairly or women are not taking their place. Of course, if a decision is being taken or there's a deliberation, a law to be deliberated on issue on women, you don't have the women there to protect the young girls in the street.
If we had more women there, at least the more the number, the more they could be able to reach out to lobby amongst the men. I'm not saying all the men in the National Assembly are against women. No, they have wives, they have mothers, they have children, daughters. But they will be better informed if we have more female to defend the cause of women and children in the National Assembly.
It takes a lot of perseverance, a lot of work, a lot of enlightenment to our male folk to make them understand that we are not competing with them. We are not in any competition with them. We're just there to give them a helping hand. And they should try and see how they can put us into the system so that these things could be right for us in Nigeria and the world over. And I want to assure you that this problem is just not with Nigeria alone. It's the world over. Women are being oppressed the world over. Because I was in a conference with the wife of the president in Argentina, 2015. It's the same story. Inclusiveness. We want to be included in the scheme of things, politically and otherwise.
We are not fighting the men. We are not instructing the men. But we are appealing, as mothers of the nation, to allow more participation, more representation of women at all levels so that our country can move forward.
We need a bill that will define what belongs to women and what belongs to men in this nation.
That I will not be able to say much about because as far as I'm concerned, people that are around me, I try to mentor them to a certain position where they know their rights. And I think a lot of women honestly are doing that. A lot of women are doing that. Fola Shade, this woman in Lagos, Alakija, I think she has a program where she mentors women. Her Excellency, the wife of the president, has a lot of program where she mentors women to speak their mind. Whatever it is, how bad it is, say it. So I think we're moving gradually to where we need to be.
We always emphasize on the fact that women are enemies of themselves. Yes, I know, but even the men, they fight among themselves too. So I don't want us to keep hammering on that. We will have to move forward, and women have since passed that stage. I've seen women that have been fighting for their fellow women. Yes, there are some few exceptional cases, but it doesn't mean that we should accept the fact that the men have taken the center stage.
Sometimes it is at the point of vote buying, because vote buying is a crime in this nation. Who has been prosecuted for vote buying? If somebody has been prosecuted, then nobody will do it anymore. And if they don't do it, that gives them a level playing field, as the men. That gives the women a level playing field as the men. But when it comes to empowerment, we know that Nigerian men are more empowered financially than the women. Where are they going to get the money to buy the votes?
2015, forms were given free, and it ends there. So gradually now you buy the form. They allow you to buy form. I think some parties have price. If the men are buying for 5 million, you're giving it for 2. They're giving you for 2.5, and it ends there. Most of us know they're just doing, I don't know, they're just playing us around. Let us think we are carried along, but it's not, the reality is we're not going anywhere. You buy your forms. The wife of the president came out and she spoke her mind. Since you're not allowing these people to vie for the post, they will return their money to them.
We are left very hopeless. Most times women are even intimidated to step down for their male counterpart in second instances. They will tell you, oh, you don't have money. At times, this gender thing, the party hierarchy will just talk down on women or maybe insist they step down their party.
We can't be intimidated that much. It is our hard-earned money. We came out to buy forms. You should have told us at that point that we will not be allowed to contest. Then we will not buy forms. And after buying forms, you now call us, tell us to step down for somebody, that they will give us some positions after that. And after you step down, nothing comes out of it.
Mr. President, through the seminar organized by the Office of the Wife of the President, have promised the Nigerian women that he is going to give us our 35% in this dispensation. As a man of honor, we know he will keep to his promise.
I am positive and I will remain positive. I've told you, I can feel the pulse of Mr. President. During the last thank you dinner, he was all smiles and happy with us. And when he got up to respond to all our comments, he reassured us that this next level things will be better.
President Buhari has promised us that he will work with women. He's surrounded by strong women. He knows that the capacity of some of the women he has appointed. He has a very strong woman as a wife, so he has promised us that, and that's the reason why we all went out to mobilize for him to be re-elected. He's the one we trust.
He's a man of his own words, and I want to believe he's going to do something better for the women this time around. So let's wait and see what he does for the women folk. That I'm sure he's really, really going to do something, because you saw how the women came out in their hundreds and their millions to vote for him. If votes will be counted and he will know these are the women, we get our boxes, we vote, he will know that the women are for him. And this is the time he has to pay back what they have done to him. And if he does that, I will assure him he will leave a very lasting legacy. I'm a very optimistic person. He will definitely do it. Let's keep our hands crossed. I know he will do it. I don't want to have a double mind that he will not do it or he will do it, but I know he will do something good for us.
This is a new dawn, and the situation is not as bad as we think. There's room for improvement, and the improvement has started now. We are preparing adequately for the 2023 to ensure that the Nigerian women take their place in the scheme of affairs.
I don't want to be negative. I don't want to assume that it will continue like this.
Well, what the women should do is to run a campaign that will bring the situation to the forefront again. We will mobilize women, and we will we will just do exactly what, in a very peaceful manner, just exactly what the Not Too Young to Run did. We will continue with the campaign. That's what we have been doing. We just continue drumming up the support, but this time we will take it a step forward. We probably might occupy the National Assembly and force them to do the needful.
So I want all Nigerian women to be positive, to be hopeful, to be more prayerful for our leaders, and to refuse to give up. We will never give up. And very soon I say, Mr. President will make a difference, because God brought him for a purpose, and that purpose has to be fulfilled. I believe Mr. President will break the jinx this time. When he breaks the jinx, he will set the tone for others that will come after him. We want more women participation. We want a better Nigeria. And a better Nigeria can only be achieved if the men and women are working at par. God bless Nigeria.
The system does not favor us at all, except if we come back to the drawing board and appeal to the men and appeal to their conscience. Let them know that we are not here to compete with them. We are here to be partners in progress. If that is done and they accept, because like in the Senate and the House of Reps, the men are majority. We cannot move anywhere without them. So we should keep appealing to them to make them understand that we are partners in progress.
We still need to strengthen our interpolitics politics to encourage women to participate, and we still need to, make law. And be that as it may, like I've earlier said, it's not a hopeless situation.
I am hoping that within these next 4 years that we would have learned a lot, because our National Assembly is all very male, very, very male. I don't know what is going to come out there. So the only way I know that we can achieve women participation is through legislation, and we won't be able to do that unless we go the way that our older children who ran not too young to run, unless we go that path. And I'm hoping that we will be able to achieve that.